go?
Yeah, definitely. It was a clinical performance and it was exactly where we wanted it to go. Just took my time, even in the third round, just took my time, and as soon as the body shot started landing, then we knew that was the way forward.
I know you're only concentrating on yourself, but after Frampton winning last week, after all talk about Frampton this week, it is good to go out and send out a message like that. This is devastating.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of talk about, after Carl Frampton's fight, and then people talking about that fighting. Some people, or some other fighters might have took their eye off the ball thinking about, potential massive fight. Didn't one bit take my eye off the ball, and it was just about going in there and sending the message out to other people. But mainly, I expect that from myself and the training I put in, and I expect that sort of performance every time we get in the ring for myself, not for anybody else. Because that's what the way I train and everything. It's about doing that and making myself be the best I can be.
And that was a great test for you tonight, wasn't it? I mean, Jamal, as Joseph said before, I mean, it wasn't an easy fight for you, was it?
No, you've seen him fight many times. He stopped me asking, stopped Ashley Sexton. He's been in with Leo Santa Cruz. Currently, he's been in with the WBA. WBC bantamweight champion, and no one's ever gone and done that to him.
He was a world champion last year, wasn't he?
Former European champion. So he's not. It's the way I took him out. It's the way I dealt with him. That's the impressive thing, I think.
But that shows the level you're at now, doesn't it? That you can take somebody like him out, hopefully.
Yeah, it does. It shows I'm levels above that, and like I say, he was no mug. He was a good fighter. He's been around at the top level. Yeah, he's fell short, but he's not fell that short. I've gone in there today totally dismantled him. Yeah. So I think it does show that, like I say, it's the way I took him, it's the way I did it.
Does that prove that you never underestimate any opponent?
You can never, in boxing, it takes one punch to change a fight, and that's one thing I'll never do. I'll never underestimate anyone. It doesn't matter who I get in the ring with. As I said before, a lot of talk was about me and Carl Frampton after him becoming world champion last week. Not in the slightest did my mind wander thinking about that fight or anything else than getting in the ring and doing what I needed to do tonight.
Eddie, does this prove that's how Scott's last 3 fights have gone? He's combined 7 rounds, not against bombs. Does that prove that he's got to be in now unification fights? It's the level that he's got to be at now.
Yeah, and otherwise you'll get bored. We'll all get bored. It's a bit like you talk about Mayweather against Pacquiao, and I know Frampton Quigg is not quite yet Mayweather against Pacquiao. But the ultimate thing is the fans want it, and if they don't get it, they end up losing a little bit of interest. And although Mayweather is still a huge star, people want the Pacquiao fight, and they feel robbed that they never got it. We can't let this fight disappear or go away, because otherwise, we look at the division. I pretty much offered this fight to every fighter in the division outside of probably Rigondeaux. If you go through the entire rankings, I believe that I either offered the fight or spoke to the team to try and get right. No one wants to fight.
I'm sure I told you to offer it to him.
But no one wants to fight Scott Quigg, because they see performances like that. And the Munyai fight particularly, because no one really wanted to fight Munyai. He's a slippery customer. And again, Jamoy, the way he dealt with Jamoy, just like we were saying about Joshua, it's how they're dealing with him. He was standing there going toe to toe with him, smiling and grinning and soaking it up. It's he needs those big fights, and again, it's frustrating not being able to deliver a Carl Frampton or a Leo Santa Cruz, but it does take 2 to tango. Leo Santa Cruz is making $700,000 tonight to fight. No disrespect to Miguel Roman, but he's a sparring partner for Leo Santa Cruz. He's getting $30,000, by the way. To bring Leo Santa Cruz over here, you'd have to give him $3 million, something like that. It's not there. Do you know what I mean? So he can't, Santa Cruz is not coming in. We'll go over there, but again, why would Santa Cruz want to fight him for a couple of $100,000 more when he can just carry on fighting these kind of people for $600,000-700,000? So all roads, as much as we'd love the Leo Santa Cruz fight, do lead to Carl Frampton. You know, and I believe they want the fight. I'm sure they want to make as much money as possible as the Scot, and that comes through that fight.
Eddie, so what is the up-to-date situation with that? Have you heard anything?
Nothing, no. I mean, obviously, we've signed a co-promotional deal with Chris Avalos, who is the mandatory challenger for Carl Frampton's IBF belt. So if Carl Frampton doesn't fight Scott Quigg through doing a deal with us and Chris Avalos to move away, then he has to fight Chris Avalos. They've got 30 days negotiation period, which started about 4 or 5 days ago, and by then they've got to fight him within 90 days. If it goes to purse bids, maybe we'll win the fight and we'll put it on in Berry, something like that, you know.
Yes.
But ultimately, if he doesn't want to fight Avalos, he probably has to fight Scott Quigg next, because he has to fight Avalos. It was a part of the agreement before the Martinez-Frampton fight. So, you know, there's a deal to be done there, but ultimately, the only way you do it is sit around the table. I'll speak to them tomorrow, and I'll try and make a meeting in the next week. And I think
you did say this week that
all round the table.
you know, it needs to be sorted.
Look, it's an open book, right? Let the fighters make the money, right? There's no secrets. Let everybody see the numbers, right? Carl Frampton, Barry McGuigan, Scott Quigg, and then we'll go through all the numbers and make a deal that everybody's happy with. I know what the deal is. So it's not about in Manchester or in Belfast. During the time period between now, September, and probably May, you have to go indoors, right? If there's a venue in Belfast that can hold 21,000 like out here, we'll go there. It doesn't matter. That's why I'm insisting on, I believe the answer is 2 fights. Let them earn the money twice. No, we'll do it over here in the winter, in the spring, and then we'll do it outdoors in Belfast. Let them make a fortune twice. You know, it's that good a fight. I'm sure people won't mind seeing it twice. Exactly. But sometimes the obvious moves are the most frustrating, because, you know, I don't know what else you can do.
Is there a danger of you getting bored, Scott? Because, you know, you're smashing people in a very short space of time.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say other fighters could get bored, but me, like I say, boxing is not a sport, boxing is a life. It's like for me, and that's all I know. So I just want to keep improving, and whoever they put in the ring, I'll do the job. Like I said, I won't get involved.
Adam, do you agree with that? What? His attitude to the gym? Yeah, Scott lives and breathes the sport. Listen, the people that put before him, these last 3 opponents, they've all fought for versions of world titles. Scott's dismantled them within 3 or 4 rounds each one. It's just, I think, I said when he won the world title, what we need to do very much like Ricky did, is just let him settle, slow your defences, and let him grow into a role of being a world champion. I think Scott Quigg is that now, and he's very feared in that division. It won't be long neither. This fight has to be made very soon, because Scott Quigg will move up in weight as well. That'll be on his agenda. He's a young lad, he's growing all the time, the size of him now. He's training well, but Scott Quigg there in the near future will be moving upwards, so the Frampton fight has to happen sooner than later.
And does the comparison between like Scott and Carl, who they fall frustrated with at all sometimes?
I don't know. Listen, we beat Brandon Monroe, he's beat this one, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, Carl Frampton can fight a talented amateur, Scott Quigg can fight a talented professional. And on the night, I've always insisted my guys got to come out. I know Barry says his guy's the real deal, and that's what makes it a great fight. I'm sure there'll be great banter back and forth by the time the bell goes. But listen, Carl Frampton, as good as he is, he couldn't beat the guy that he'd already beat any better than he'd already done. In America, he gets slated for that, although he got great praise. He knocked him out in 9, but then he took him on points. Kiko Martinez won't live 6-7 rounds with this fella. Scott Quigg would absolutely knock him out clean. No one can punch us out of Scott Quigg. I'm telling you, as soon as he tickles Carl Frampton's ribs, it'll be all over.
And quick word on do you feel cheated tonight, the way the Crawler fight went?
Yeah, I do a little bit, but listen, at the end of the day, the kid I was a bit disappointed in him. He came over from Mexico, had great pedigree, had wars, been a brave, beat Guerrero and that, and then for him to, I've not seen the TV coverage yet from what I'm hearing, he was very quick to get the doctor to stop the contest, and the way they were jumping around the ring and lifted up in the air, left a bit of a taste in the mouth. But Anthony Crawler, at the end of the day, still undefeated, he's still the champion. Abro fights next week, and hopefully now he can go out and make that world title fight for Anthony Crawler. It's a case of Anthony now is in the peak of his career, the form of his career. Let's throw him in and see what happens.